Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Are you hearing me, students? Please reply. Are you hearing me, students? Please reply. I'm waiting for other students. Are you hearing me, Zimal? Please reply. Okay, very good of you. I'm waiting for other students to join me. After that, I will start my today's lecture. Students are coming very late today. Please join on time. I am going to start my today's lecture. It is English language lecture. I'm Mrs. Afshin Imran. It is lecture number 41. The topic is indefinite tenses. I'm going to give you a review of indefinite tenses. You know that there are three types of tenses: present tense, past tense, and future tense. And their subtypes are indefinite tenses, continuous tenses, perfect tenses, and perfect continuous tenses. Today I am giving the review of only indefinite tenses. Okay. Now I want to discuss about the types of indefinite tenses. You all know that there are three types: present indefinite tense, past indefinite tense, and future indefinite tense. Now, what is present indefinite tense or where we use it? Present indefinite tense denotes the habitual actions and universal truths. It means whenever we discuss the sentences with present indefinite tense, they usually show the actions of daily basis and universal truths. Okay. Now I'm going to give you the structures and examples of some present indefinite tenses. Here you can see that present indefinite tense can be written in three ways: affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and interrogative sentences. So we are discussing them one by one. Affirmative sentences, you know that the sentences which gives the positive meaning. The structures are two here because it depends upon the person for first person and second person, singular and plural both. Okay, I, we, you, plus third person plural, that means they. The structure is subject plus verb, first form plus object. Okay, remember verb first form. The main structure of any sentence is subject plus verb plus object. So when we are doing the tenses, we just change the form of verb in different types of tenses. Okay, subject and object must be there. Subject in the beginning and object must be at the end. But for third person singular like he and she, the structure has been changed. Subject plus verb, first form plus s or es. This is optional. We can add s or we can add es plus object. I'm showing you some examples so that you can easily understand. These are the examples of present indefinite tenses, affirmative sentences. You can see I have written which person is there. I write a letter. This is first person singular. Actually, person means the subject. I write a letter. You can see we write a letter. I have changed the same sentence into different persons. You can see that full stop must be there at the end, which shows the completion of the sentence. Then second person singular and plural, you write a letter. Then third person singular, he writes a letter. And the third person singular, she writes a letter. I have told you for third person singular, we use s or es. Sometimes we use es to add in the verb, and sometimes we use s. Write, the word write or verb write is already having e at the end. So we just add s to make it use in the third person singular to make an affirmative sentence in the present indefinite tense. Now for third person plural, they write a letter. You should remember that which form of verb is used for which person. You should be very careful about all these things. Now I come to present indefinite tense, negative sentences. You all know that negative sentences means the sentences which give the negative meaning. So again, there are two kinds of structures here for different persons. You can see that for first person and second person, singular and plural, that is I, we, you, and third person plural, they. The structure becomes subject plus helping verb plus not plus verb first form plus object. You should remember that when we are making the negative sentences, we must add not with our helping verb in present indefinite tense. Remember all these structures, these are very easy, but you have to learn them. Now the helping verb we use here is do. Remember, first person, second person, singular and plural, and third person plural, the helping verb is do. But there is a change for third person singular, that is he and she. The structure remains same, subject plus helping verb plus not plus verb first form plus object. But the helping verb we use here is does. Remember that helping verb is also known as auxiliary verb. You can use the word auxiliary verb here in place of helping verb. Both are correct. But remember which helping verb is used in which persons. Okay. You should be very careful in using the helping verbs. Now, I am telling you some examples of the negative sentences here. We are doing present indefinite tense. Keep it in your mind. Now for first person singular, first person plural, second person singular and plural, we use do. I do not write a letter. We do not write a letter. You do not write a letter. Now for third person singular, I have told you that we have the helping verb does. So what we use or how the sentence become? He does not write a letter. She does not write a letter. Now again we come to third person plural. So the helping verb is again changed. They do not write a letter. Again you can see that in all the negative sentences there is a full stop at the end. Okay. So you should be very careful about the punctuation marks as well. Otherwise you are making the mistakes. Now we come to present indefinite tense, interrogative sentences. Their structures, you know that when we are making the interrogative sentences are those sentences which ask questions. Okay, it means whenever we use the interrogative sentence or make the interrogative sentence, we start with the helping verb. Remember this thing. Now for first person and second person singular and plural plus third person plural, it means I, we, you, and they. Helping verb structure is helping verb plus subject plus verb first form plus object plus question mark. Remember, I have written this question mark at the end so that you should remember it. I have not added this full stop in affirmative and negative sentences because it is understood to place full stop at the end of the sentence. But I have added here the question mark in the structure so that you could remember it. Now helping verb is do. Remember the same helping verb which we are using in the negative sentences. For third person singular, the structure becomes helping verb plus subject plus verb first form plus object plus question mark. Again, you can see that I have added a question mark here in the structure. Now the helping verb is does. Now I am showing you some examples of interrogative sentences. Some examples are to know that we are using the helping verb in the beginning of the interrogative sentences. So the sentence becomes, do I write a letter? Question mark. Remember that whenever we use I in between the sentence, we use it in the form of capital letter. Remember it. Otherwise, all letters I have used here with the small letters. Okay. Now for first person singular, the sentence becomes, do I write a letter? Question mark. Do we write a letter? That is first person plural. Do you write a letter? Question mark. Second person singular and plural. Actually, you is the person which is used in the singular form as well as in the plural form, and it is second person. Now for third person singular, we have two options, he and she. So we use the helping verb does. Does he write a letter? Question mark. Does she write a letter? Question mark. And for third person plural, again we have this different helping verb do. Do they write a letter? Okay, remember all these options, all these structures very carefully. Um, if you understand the tenses and you learn their structures, then you can easily do the voices as well as narrations. If you are not understanding tenses carefully, then you are not able to do voices and narration. So please be very careful and concentrate on the topic. I will upload the video so that you can see it again and again to learn all the things. Okay. I hope you are understanding everything. Now please reply me if you have understood till here or not. Please reply so that I will move on to the next kind of tenses. Please reply. Hurry up. I am waiting. Hurry up, reply. Okay, very good of you. You have understood everything. Okay. Now you know that there are 12 tenses, so we have to do them one by one. We have done the first one, present indefinite tense. Now I am going to start past indefinite tense. Okay. Now past indefinite tense denotes an action that took place in the past. It means whenever we are discussing the past indefinite tenses, we are discussing all the actions, all the events that occurred in the past. Okay. It means they had taken place. Now I'm showing you the present past indefinite tenses in the forms of structures and examples. Now you know that again past indefinite tense is described or is written in three types. Again, affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and interrogative sentences. So again, I am showing the examples and the structures of all these one by one. Now, first of all, affirmative sentences, which gives positive meaning. For first person, second person, and third person, singular and plural. For all persons, past indefinite tense is the most easiest one. Why? Because the structure remains same for all the persons. Okay, even they are singular or plural. Now the sentence structure is subject plus verb second form plus object full stop. Okay, remember that we use second form of verb in past indefinite tense. Now I'm showing you some examples of past indefinite tenses. You can see that I have already told you that only second form of verb is used here for all the persons. You can see that all the persons, whenever I have given the examples to you, I write second form of verb. So very easy for you. I wrote a letter. You know that I am repeating the same example for all the tenses. So the second form of write is wrote. The sentence becomes, I wrote a letter, we wrote a letter, you wrote a letter, he wrote a letter, she wrote a letter, and they wrote a letter. And you see that all the sentences and in the full stop. You know that all the persons, first person, second person, third person, singular and plural, we use the second form of verb. Now I come to the negative sentences, which gives the negative meaning. And again, very easy that only one structure is given for all the persons here. But you know that whenever we have the negative sentence, it means we have to add a helping verb as well as not. So for first person, second person, and third person, singular and plural, the structure becomes subject plus helping verb plus not plus verb first form plus object. Now remember this thing. Whenever we use the negative sentence and the interrogative sentence, when we add the helping verb or not, we always use the first form of verb, even in the present indefinite tense as well as in the past indefinite tense. Remember this. In negative and interrogative sentences, we always use first form of verb, whatever we use in affirmative sentence. Okay? You should remember all these points. Helping verb is did. Only one helping verb is here, did. So it will be easier for you. Now I am giving you some examples of negative sentences. Again, I have told you the same helping verb for all the sentences. So all the persons are written here. You can easily understand them. I did not write a letter. You can see that when I have added did or not, then I have placed the first form of verb, that is I have changed wrote to write. We did not write a letter. You did not write a letter. He did not write a letter. She did not write a letter. They did not write a letter. Very easy. Past indefinite tense is the easiest one. You can see that for first person singular and plural, for second person singular and plural, and for third person singular and plural, all structures are same. So examples are same. There is no difficulty in past indefinite tense. I hope you are understanding everything. Very easy. Tenses are very easy. If you have learned them properly, then you can never forget them. Now, we come to past indefinite tense, interrogative sentences. Again, I have told you for past indefinite tense, there is only one structure, that is for all the persons, for first person, second person, third person, singular and plural. For all persons, we have the same structure, and I hope you remember it, that interrogative sentences are those which ask questions. Okay. Now the sentence becomes, I have already told you, for interrogative sentences, we use the helping verb in the beginning of the sentence and we end the sentence with the question mark. Now the sentence becomes, or structure becomes, helping verb plus subject plus verb first form plus object plus question mark. I have already told you, but I'm reminding you again and again that whenever we use the helping verb in negative sentences with a not, and in helping verb in the interrogative sentences, we always use the first form of verb. Remember this thing, please. Okay, and helping verb here is did. Are you hearing my voice? Please tell me, students, because some of the students are not listening me properly. Please reply me, hurry up. Please reply, I'm waiting. Okay, very good of you. Very good. Okay. Abdul Rahman, please check your net connection because other people are listening me very properly, very clearly. Now I'm showing you the example of interrogative sentences. Some examples are there, and I have told you for all the persons, the structure remains same. It means examples are same. So we start with did, the helping verb. Did I write a letter? Again, you can see that I is capital. I have told you that whenever we use I in the beginning of the sentence, in between the sentence, we use it in the capital form. We always write in the capital form. So the sentence is, did I write a letter? Question mark. First person singular. Did we write a letter? Question mark. First person plural. Did you write a letter? Question mark. Second person singular and plural. I have already told you that you is the only pronoun which can use in the singular as well as plural form. These are actually the pronouns, or you can say the personal pronouns. And because of that, we are writing the word person. Did he write a letter? Question mark. Did she write a letter? Question mark. These are the third person singulars. Did they write a letter? Question mark. Third person plural. Now you can see that I have added the question mark at the end. So you should be very careful about the punctuation marks, because without the punctuation mark, the sentence remains incomplete. And if you are doing these kind of small mistakes in your question paper, in your exams, then you will lose your marks. So please, you should be very careful about the punctuation marks as well as your sentences, helping verbs, structures, capital letter, whatever. You should be very careful about all of them. Now, we have done the past indefinite tenses. Again, I want your replies, that whether you have understood or not, please reply me, hurry up, so that I will move to future indefinite tenses. Now, please reply. I'm waiting. Very good of you. Okay, okay, okay. Very nice. Very nice. You have understood. Okay. Now, please, I am telling you that when I'm giving you the structures and examples of tenses. So please do practice in your rough notebooks in your home, so that you will not forget these structures and examples. Make any sentence by yourself and change it into different forms. Now, I move to future indefinite tense. Future indefinite tense denotes an action that will take place in the future. You all know that what is present, past, and future. So all the actions which will take place in the future, we discuss them as future indefinite tense. Now I'm showing you the structures and examples of future indefinite tenses. Future indefinite tense, again, it is described in three ways: affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and interrogative sentences. So first of all, affirmative sentences are shown here with the structure and examples. Affirmative sentences are those which gives positive meaning. Now, future indefinite is also very easy, because only one structure is given for all the persons, like for first person, second person, and third person, singular and plural. For all the persons, we have the same structure: subject plus helping verb plus verb, first form plus object. Very easy. The helping verb is will. You should remember that only one helping verb is used here, that is will. Now I move to examples. Some examples of the affirmative sentences are shown here. I will write a letter. We will write a letter. You will write a letter. He will write a letter. She will write a letter. They will write a letter. You can see that all the statements and in the full stop, this shows the completion of the sentences and shows which also shows that these are affirmative sentences because they end in full stop. Now you can see that all the person, first person singular and plural, second person singular and plural, third person singular and plural, all are having the same structure with the same helping verb will. Now I move to negative sentences. The structure is only one for all the persons. Again, negative sentences are those which gives the negative meaning. It means these sentences must be having not in them. For first person, second person, and third person, singular and plural, we have the same structure: subject plus helping verb plus not plus verb first form plus object. Full stop. Now the helping verb is will. Now I want to remind you one thing. Whenever you have to make negative sentence of any affirmative sentence, if there is a helping verb, we must add not after the helping verb to make a negative sentence. Very easy technique or very easy rule to follow to make a negative sentence. Just add not after the helping verb. Other part of the sentence remains same. Okay. Now I'm showing you some of the examples of the negative sentences. Some examples are here for all negative sentences which give the negative meaning. You can see I have just added add not here after the helping verb. I will not write a letter. He will not write a letter. You will not write a letter. He will not write a letter. She will not write a letter. They will not write a letter. Full stop. Very easy. Very easy. You can easily see that very easy sentences are there. And the structure remains same. The same helping verb with not is used for all the sentences, all the persons. First person singular, first person plural, second person singular and plural, third person singular and third person plural. All are same. Now, one more thing which you remember that these I, we, you, he, she, and they are the pronouns. These are the personal pronouns. You should remember all these things. Okay. Now I move to the interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences are those which ask questions. You all know very well. Now the structure remains same for all the persons. Very easy. It means there is a little bit confusion in the structure in present indefinite tenses, but future indefinite and past indefinite tenses are very easy because only one structure is there for all the persons. Now for interrogative sentence, for future indefinite tense, for first person, second person, third person, singular and plural, the structure remains same. And I have told you for the interrogative sentences, we just add helping verb at the beginning and question mark at the end of the sentence. Okay. Now helping verb is will here. The structure is helping verb plus subject plus verb plus verb first form plus object plus question mark. Remember, I have already told you, but I'm telling you again and again that whenever we make a negative sentence by using the helping verb and by making an interrogative sentence by using a helping verb, we always use the first form of verb. Remember this point always, okay? Because it is the very important point. You should remember that whenever we use helping verb in the negative and in the interrogative sentences, we always use the first form of verb. The helping verb here is will. Now I am showing you some of the examples of the interrogative sentences. Now you know that I have added the helping verb in the beginning and I have added question mark at the end of all the sentences. Okay. Now the sentence becomes, will I write a letter? Again, I'm reminding you that I is the only pronoun which is used in the capital form. In between the sentence, when it is used or when it is written in between the sentence, we always use I in the capital form. Remember, when we are writing essays, when we are writing letters, applications, or whenever we are writing any composition, any answer, whatever, whenever I comes in between the sentence, then we always use in the capital form. Remember all these points. Now the sentence becomes, will I write a letter, question mark? Will we write a letter, question mark? Will you write a letter, question mark? Will he write a letter, question mark? Will she write a letter, question mark? Will they write a letter, question mark? Now you can see that very easy sentences are there, and these all are same for first person singular and plural, for second person singular and plural, for third person singular and plural. All remain same. The structure remains same. Only one helping verb is used with the question mark at the end. I hope you have understood till here. Now please reply. Have you understood future indefinite tenses or not? I am waiting for your replies. Please reply me. I'm waiting. Please reply. Have you understood future indefinite tenses or not? Okay, very good of you. Now, if I'm giving you any sentence, you can easily change it into the tenses, different tenses or indefinite tenses. Okay, very good of you. Now, if you have got any question, you can ask me because the topic is finished. First of all, I'm permitting you to ask me any question. During that time, I'm marking your attendance. But after that, I will ask some questions to you. So you will have to give me the answers. Anything which you want to ask, please ask me. I'm waiting. Okay. May I start asking questions? Now, who will tell me? Please write in the chat box. What is the helping verb for present indefinite tense? What is the helping verb for present indefinite tense? Now, write the answer. Hurry up. Helping verb for present indefinite tense. Very good answer. Do. Okay, okay, Fatma, very good answer. You have written the right answer. Now, please, other people, please tell me the answer. What is the helping verb for present indefinite tense? I'm waiting for your replies. Please hurry up. Give me the answers. Will it's not for present indefinite tense, Ishal Ali? I'm asking for present indefinite tense. Abdul Rahman, no, these are not the answer. Helping verb. I am asking the helping verb. I'm not asking anything. I am discussing only indefinite tenses today. I'm not discussing any other kind of tenses. Now, please tell me. What is the helping verb for present indefinite tense? Abdul Rahman, you are just guessing. I have already told you many times that whenever you are taking the class, you should have a rough notebook with you so that you will note the important points. If you are noting down the important point, then you will easily give me the answers. Yes, Mehda, your answer is right. Very good answer. Very good answer. Now, my next question is, which form of verb is used in present indefinite tense? Which form of verb is used in present indefinite tense? Now hurry up, reply me. I'm waiting. Which form of verb is used in the present indefinite tense? Very good answer. Very good. All of you are right. Yes. Very good answer. Now I'm waiting for your replies. Hurry up, please reply me. Hurry up. Now, my next question is, which helping verb is used in past indefinite tense? Listen carefully my question. Which helping verb is used in past indefinite tense? Hurry up, reply me. I'm waiting. Okay, okay, very good answer. Mehda, Fatma Kareem, very good answer. Okay, my next question is, which form of verb is used in past indefinite tense? Which form of verb is used in past indefinite tense? Hurry up, please reply. Okay, very nice, very nice. Mehda and Mani, I'm not asking about negative and interrogative sentences. I'm asking about the affirmative sentences. Okay, so write the answer about the affirmative sentences. Okay, your answer is right. Now, my next question is, yes, Mehda, Ishal, your answer is right. Fatma, your answer is right. Very nice. Now, my next question is, Abdul Rahman, you are just guessing the answers. You are not using your mind. Please find out the correct answer and then reply me. Don't make guesses. Now, my next question is, which helping verb is used in future indefinite tense? Very easy question. Which helping verb is used in future indefinite tense? Very good answer, Abdul Rahman. Now you are right. Okay. Now that people, please tell me which is the helping verb for future indefinite tense. No, Mehda, it is wrong. We have only one helping verb here. Now tell me that. Yes, Mehta, it is right. Only helping verb which we are using is future indefinite tense is will. Now, another question. Which form of verb is used in future indefinite tense? Which form of verb is used in future indefinite tense? I'm talking about affirmative sentences only. Okay? Okay. Very nice answer. Very nice answer. Okay. All of you have understood very well. Now, please, I'm telling you, okay, Abdul Rahman, very good. Ishal, Mehta, Fatma, very good answers. Now, Hamza Mustafa, you have not replied me any answers. Zimal, reply me. Hurry up. Now, I want to inform you that from now onwards, from today onwards, we have started our quizzes and dictations. You all know where them very well that on Wednesdays there will be quizzes and on Fridays there will be dictations. So quizzes are from language and dictations are from literature. So I have already given you the topic, so 50 marks, Zimal, 50 marks. Okay. So I have already given you the topics about noun number and noun gender. You should know that noun number is singular and plural and noun gender is masculine and feminine. So I have already uploaded the quiz on the Google Classroom. After the class, go through that and choose the correct answers correctly, carefully. Okay. Now I want to stop here. I will upload the topic of dictation today on the Google Classroom as well. And dictation will be on Friday. So you should prepare for that. Now I want to stop here. I hope you have Fatma, this is not the date is not announced. We will inform you afterwards. Okay. Now I want to stop here because time is over. I hope you have understood everything. Allah Hafiz.